I am Evelyn Anita Hayford. That was my maiden name. I translated that into Stokes. My fancy name is Mamia Mejan, and I'm a very proud Fanti. Yes, Ghana is in West Africa. We gained independence on the 6th of March. We'll be 60 years this year. We've come a long way. We used to be called the Gold Coast. That was the name that was given to Ghana by the British government or the colonizers at the time, because they were digging a lot of gold from our country and taking it back to England. And then when we got independence, we changed our name to Ghana, which used to be a very prosperous country or in ancient times. A country without history and tradition is lost. If you don't have any progeny upon which you can say that our ancestors did this or that, then you are lost. You are colorless. The importance of the traditional rulers comes out of this. Communities, their people, their subjects know that they are the rulers. They listen to them. They give them directions. Tradition is also not perfect. You have to be able to balance the new and the old in order to go forward. But the people who were here originally were the Gans. So the Gans have their own chief and other sub-chiefs as well. Then you have the great Ashantis. The Ashantis, of course, you know about the Ashanti king. That we call him the Otumfo, the Asante. He is very powerful. The Ashantis adore their kings, and the kings wield a lot of power over their people. They embody the spirit of the people. And then you come to my own tribe, the Fantis. We are more anglicized than the other parts of the country because we are on the coast and we contacted the British when they first came. We also have our paramount chiefs. Kofi Annan is Fanti. Eminence, Cardinal Texan, who is still in Rome, but he's a very, very proud Ghanaian and even prouder Fanti. You know, slavery in the 16th century was very rife, and the ships were coming to the west coast of Africa to buy human beings, to capture them and take them abroad. And people were being brought from all over the country, held like sheep in Elmina Castle and other castles along the coast, and being exported to mainly to America and some to Britain as well. And they were taken and they were used as slaves, and to the enrichment of their captors and their masters. People who were being taken away and they were looking back to their land knowing that they will never come back. It got to a point when the conscience of a few people was pricked, and then they started the emancipation of slavery system. Slavery is supposed to have come to an end, or was supposed to have come to an end by the end of the last century. But Leah, I dare say that even today, there is a form of slavery going on in society in some countries, and they are just kept in the basement as slaves, working their lives out without anybody knowing even what is happening there. So I don't think that we can stand on any higher moral grounds about that we no longer have slaves, because we do have slaves. And sometimes slavery is a slavery of the mentality, of the mind, of the brain, when you are constantly being told that you are no good, that you don't deserve any better than to be employed as a slave. Shall the experience of the last century be ever repeated in the modern world? And that people will be valued for who they are, what they can contribute, because nobody is useless, nobody is a slave. One day I was home when I had a call from somewhere that the president was considering making me an ambassador to Italy, and I should send my curriculum vitae to the right place for it to be processed. So that was how I was appointed. But I was busy doing my own thing when the call came to serve my country. And of course, it's an honor to be asked, and I was very happy that I was appointed. I was actually appointed to 4 countries. I was not only Italy, I was also accredited to Slovenia, to Croatia, to Greece, and initially to Turkey. We call it ampi. Ampe, you draw it on the, and then those days we didn't have any toys because we became more imaginative. The elders in the village or in the town will sit down and narrate Anansi stories. Folklore was passed from grandfather to grandparents, and in the evenings they sit down and they chat. That was how entertainment was in those days, until television came and spoilt it all. I want to welcome you to my grandfather's village. This is a village that he founded so many years ago, because this is where we used to spend Christmas every year. When I'm here, I'm called Mamia Mejan. That is my fancy name. And this village is known for its hospitality. It's Morris crew, and people converge here for hospitality. And see, a village of peace and love. Takoradi was the only port harbor in Ghana at the time. It's a natural harbor. So all the ships were coming to Takoradi, and sometimes they will buy fresh fruits and things there. And that was what gave my grandfather the idea to plant acres and acres and acres of avocados, very sweet grapefruit, oranges, and for a man in that time, at that time in Ghana, that was a very forward-looking businessman, and he was very wise. We come from a very strong tribe called the Anana Busia. And I went to school in Takoradi, and then I got a scholarship to go to Achimota School. And I'm also an extremely proud Achimotan. Achimota at that time was patterned after the British system of education. And we had the emergence of the traditional system and the British system. We were taught both in a way that was quite unique at the time. And then from Achimota, I went to the University of Ghana, where I did my degree. I was one of the first female students in the Department of Political Science. After I left university, for some reason I wanted to become a war correspondent, because I saw these people reporting from war situations around the world, and I had this dream of becoming a war correspondent, but I had to start from somewhere. So I became a journalist at the Ghanaian Times, the few women feature writers at the time. Through my work as a journalist, I met my husband. I didn't realize that he was reading all my articles in the papers. And when I met him and I was introduced to him as, this is the journalist, I said, oh, I read your articles every week. So I think he fell in love with the writer of the articles even before he met me. But we got married, and we've been married for 52 years. That's a long time, but we have 3 lovely daughters and 4 grandchildren.
New
The role of women in Ghana as a whole is very important. In Fanti, in Ashanti, you have the great Asantewa, who led her people to war and conquered the British. So you cannot underestimate the part that the women play in our society. You come and you study the background of a very prominent Ghanaian, and you find out that it was the mother who brought him up. She probably had to trade or sell or do something to give him the education and to send him to university. I always say that if the women are ill, then the whole country will be ill. Educate a woman and you educate a nation. That is the saying. When a woman is in charge, you know that things will be done well. And the Ghanaian woman in particular is very organized, educated. And I remember when I first went to Rome, there was a meeting of women, and they were talking about equal pay and equal this and equal that. And I found out that my country crossed that barrier long ago. When Kwame Nkrumah came to power, his power system was very much based on the women. They supported him and they made him prime minister through his organization, his better organization of the women, because they recognize that without the women, there will be chaos. I stand to be corrected, but as I said, I dare say that no politician can win power without the women. We know our strength. If the nation is not healthy, its health is sick, its wealth is sick, because a healthy nation is the one who can contribute to building up the economy, building up the nation, building up the infrastructure of the country in order that the country will develop. But if 50% of the people are ill with malaria and bilharzia and what have you, that is 50% of the wealth of that nation lying in hospital. No African country can have too many health facilities. Already, we don't have anywhere near enough. So I am eager that any assistance with health, the environment, look at this environment. They could do better. Let us have health, because the health of a nation is the wealth of the nation. We'll be going to Anchorage Hospital, where this organization has put up a special hospital for infectious diseases. This is another health help that the organization has given to my country. We thank you for it. I think this idea came up when the Ebola thing started, and it was to sort of help if any such condition arose in this country. And it's a matter of foresight that you thought about that, you thought about Ghana, you thought, if it comes here, we are ready. We are going to launch that hospital, and again, it is your love, your wisdom, your passion for helping people with medical conditions that brought this into fruition. And I'm very excited to go and see what you have achieved there. I'm happy that the projects that we initiated, some of them are now coming to fruition. I am so proud to have been part of this project because it's very much needed, and I'm excited to see what it was like the baby that was started, how now it's come to maturity, and also the fact that it's now going to be used 100% by the people in the central region. So I'm very happy that God has lengthened my days to see it come to fruition.
Okay, bring in a mic.
millions and millions of, what we used to call Gold Coast were exported out of this country through the various castles and forts. But even now, we cannot stand on a higher moral ground because we have the modern world. Slavery is going on. People are being taken as workers, and then when they go, they find that they are being used as slaves. This trading in humans will have to come to an end very, very soon and abolished forever. It must be something that we have on our conscience. It is inhuman and it must stop. I must say I'm passionate about the youth. Everywhere I go, I want to do something with the youth because they are the next generation. I think a lot can be gained in instilling in the youth, realizing their own value, realizing their own personality and character, and improving on that, and through that becoming so confident that you would never think that other people's culture is better than yours.